Hey, what's up everyone? Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and today we are taking a quick look at the brand new Saints Row game. So this is a game I got an early access key for, and I basically been playing it all weekend and just kind of wanted to hop into the game and share with you guys my experience and really just kind of educate you guys on both the good and the bad with the game so you guys can really figure out whether or not this is a game you want to pick up yourself. So before we get into the game, once again, I'll mention I did get the key for free. So even though I'm gonna be as honest as possible, there might always be some unintentional bias because, you know, it was a gift. So, you know, just keep that in mind. But that being said, I am going to try my hardest to be as honest as possible. Number two, I am playing it on my Xbox Series X. I wanted to pick it up on my Xbox just because I really was interested to see how it runs, which I will say it's been running pretty smoothly. Right now, I am playing it in 4K, although I'm currently recording in 1080p. So, you know, it's not going to be actually recorded in 4K, but I am playing in 4K and it's been pretty smoothly. It's been running pretty smooth. In addition to that, I have about 12 hours into the game and I'm about a quarter of the way through the story. So with all that being said, let's kind of hop into it. So if you know nothing about Saints Row, Saint Row has always been a over-the-top version of GTA, which is kind of saying something because GTA itself has always been a little over the top. With this Saints Row game, they've kind of brought it back to the roots. It's kind of an origin story and they tried bringing it a little more down to earth. That being said, it is still very much a very over-the-top game. You actually start with a wingsuit to begin with, and like any, you know, GTA game, I sit here and I can have like a rocket launcher, I can blow things up, I can ride on top of the roof of cars and actually like shoot off of it. So even though a lot of the craziness is still gone, there is still definitely a lot of over-the-top to the game still. So keep that in mind that this is in no way, shape, or form like a realistic game. That being said, the map itself is pretty large. It's pretty decent. There's a lot of open areas to it, like a lot of like desert areas. It takes place in like the Southwest, and I have to say I really enjoy the aesthetic of it. You know, there's like a couple areas where you're just in the middle of nowhere and then all of a sudden you're at like this rest area that has like a bunch of like dinosaurs, like dinosaur bones and like models of dinosaurs and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. So I've been enjoying the aesthetic of it a lot. That being said, I will say it's a little lacking in the case of, I think, open worldness. Like, it feels like an open world game, but it's not along the lines of like Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk is probably the best game that I played recently, where, you know, you get into the open world of that game and it is so engrossing. Like when I play that game, I don't want to drive a car. I just kind of like want to walk around because it's just so gorgeous and you can just find so many different things happening. In this game, you know, number one, there's not really a lot of buildings, if any buildings, that you can actually go into. Other than a couple shops that you can go in, other than that, there really is no buildings that you can actually go in yourself. In addition to that, you do have people walking around. There's different things you can, you know, interact with. You know, you have your normal traffic and stuff like that. But other than the occasional, like, cops that have, like, pulled cars over or the occasional, like, fist fight you see, for the most part, the world is just kind of, like, there. You know, it's more of just a sandbox versus like something that you necessarily feel yourself engrossed into. That being said, I still have been having a lot of fun with the game. If I had to describe the combat in one way in this game, it's definitely a little bit on the janky side. So for example, I'll sit here and I'll start shooting, and once again, I am playing on my Xbox, so it does have auto aim, but like it can be really hard, and I have tweaked the settings a lot to actually get it so you can actually like shoot and actually have good control, and it just does not feel good. There's a lot of different settings in the actual settings themselves, so maybe I just need to spend some more time playing, but it has been really hard for me to actually like play around with some of this stuff and actually get it to feel good. Honestly, I feel like if I was playing on PC, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But the thing is, I play a lot of games on my Xbox. I'm pretty good when it comes to shooters and third-person shooters and stuff on my Xbox, and it's just a bit of a struggle in this game. That being said, I will say combat is not particularly hard. The one thing that goes on with this game is, so you'll notice that I killed those kind of purple guys, so they're basically parts of a gang, and you'll notice right there that those guys had a phone call going on. So essentially at any point, if you start killing like any of the different factions, there's like two different gangs and there's cops and stuff like that, and at any point if you actually fight any of the factions, they'll start calling in reinforcements, and what'll happen is they'll keep sending more and more reinforcements until either A, you kill them all. Like, see, I'm I'm trying to actually control it, and I just cannot get the icon on top of them. Honestly, most of the time I've just been like hip firing because it's just been a lot easier. But the thing is, you'll notice to the right on the mini map, they're actually putting a call in, which means they're going to be spawning in more reinforcements. Now, if I end up stopping them from making the call, then and I kill all the bad guys, at that point the reinforcements will stop coming in, which is kind of interesting. Now, the one thing that's funny about this game is most games when it's like this, like GTA for example, you can always run away. But this game, it's a little weird because anytime you like run away in like a car or something like that. Okay, cool. Thanks, game. Anytime you run away in a car, what you'll notice is all of a sudden they will start chasing at me with cars, which, you know, seems normal. But what ends up happening is the further you get away from the people you're currently running from, all of a sudden they will start spawning new cars closer and closer to you. So, okay, cool. I just got knocked up by a water thing. So it can be increasingly difficult to actually kind of run away from people. Now, it seems as if, okay, there's my notoriety cleared. So it wasn't so bad there with the gangs, but with the cops in particular, it can be so hard to actually get away from them. So I've actually noticed it's been a little easier for me to actually just run away from the cops on foot versus actually in vehicles, because they will just constantly respawn new cars. Couple things you can do in your car is you can actually like run cars off. So this is where it's very much more arcadey versus like realistic, and the fact that you can see how much damage I'm just doing to these cars, just regularly whacking them. And there's actually a button where you can hit X and curve it, and you'll actually go and like charge into cars, and so you can do some, you know, pretty decent damage that way. The driving in itself in the game feels okay. The one thing I'll say I like about it, I mean, it's definitely arcadey, but the one thing I really like about it is there is a large, oh, we're actually being called there. I think that's the cops that might be coming. Yeah, we'll actually get a good idea of the cops here because now they're actually chasing after us. And so we could kill these cops here, although I love that. I mean, there's things like that that are just always great. I mean, it's an open world game. You're always going to get that random crap like that, but you'll get a really good picture of the cops chasing after us here. But there is a large variety of vehicles in this game. Not as many as I would say, like, there's not as many cars as you would see in like a Grand Theft Auto, cars and trucks, but like there are tour buses you can drive. There's, you know, dumpsters, there's construction vehicles. I love how I talk about the cops chasing me, and now like this is 2 times in a row I'm not actually being chased, which maybe they patched the game today and I didn't notice it. But I will say, like, yesterday there was one point where it took me about 45 minutes to actually try running away from the cops. It was like forever for me to actually get away from them. It was like ridiculous. Okay, so this guy actually aggroed me because I hit him. So, you know, like every good game, I'm gonna come melee him with a giant bone. Get boned, punk. But yeah, I've been having fun with it. So I will say combat can be a little janky. I can say the driving's a little on the arcadey side, but not necessarily bad. It's an easy game to kind of pick up and learn. Combat, which is probably 95% of it though, can get a little annoying, but the one cool thing about it is you'll notice, you might have seen that a couple of the guys we've been fighting thus far have like yellow bars on top of their head. So those are essentially like lieutenants, and those guys essentially have like that extra HP bar that you have to kill to actually take them down. Now what's interesting about it is when you are fighting combat against a group of guys, if you end up killing the lieutenant, usually the little guys will tend to run away. So that's kind of fun, where it's like, okay, that's a little different because you don't normally see that. So I kind of like that in an open world game. You'll notice that, you know, the game's pretty. It's not over the top. This isn't going to win any awards for, you know, a beautiful game or like the best graphics, but it's not a bad, like it's not an ugly game at all. And it runs pretty smooth. There's not that many texture pops-ins here on the Xbox, and it's running pretty efficiently, I will say. So I do enjoy that. Anything other? Oh, the other probably pretty big negative I have to say is it's pretty buggy. Like there has probably been 4 or 5 game-breaking bugs to this point where I've had to actually like shut the game down and restart it. You know, I know Cyberpunk, when it came out, everyone kind of crapped on it for being super buggy, and I played it from the get-go, and yeah, it had a lot of bugs in it. The thing is, the bugs in that game weren't so much like game-breaking. They were more kind of like hilarious, oh, my car is currently flying, what the heck is going on aspect. Where in this game, when I'm talking buggy, I'm talking like literally none of the buttons on my controller work, and you know, I like, other than the joystick, and I can no longer fire at people. And so like, all right, I'm just gonna have to like reload the game. Which, the funny thing about it is, I will say the autosave system's pretty dang good because I've not really ever had to like make up that much time. But, you know, I'm not sure if that's something that you necessarily want to have to say in the game. Like, oh, hey, you know, the game's super buggy, but hey, at least the autosave system's good. All right, so that guy's calling the cops because, actually, who was calling the cops? There was no dude there. All right, well, we'll get a good picture here with the cops. We'll do some fighting here and kind of give you an idea. By the way, shotgun, freaking love. This is like a fully auto shotgun. Oh, the other thing I should mention is you'll notice that these guys have like purple over their HP. So your HP regens in combat only to a certain point. But what ends up happening is, oh my God, see, like I am trying to aim so hard here and I can't. But if you end up killing them by hitting Y when they're purple, which you can't do that to dudes that have yellow HP bars, essentially at that point it gives you like another HP bar, so you can kind of just keep yourself going non-stop. The one thing I will say that I don't like about the phone calls is it's so freaking quick. Like, it is so difficult to actually stop them from calling the cops. Like, that timer needs to be like double what it currently is, because it is ridiculous. You'll see we're kind of dying right now, which is you know, it happens. Usually all you kind of have to do is just run around for a little bit and you're pretty much okay. Did you just pull me out of the car? What the heck happened? In addition to that, I also have, hold up, get back in the car. There's also, oh, I'm in the police car. Hey, get out of the way. Get out of the way. I think the wheels got shot on this, or this car is just really slow. I was trying to hop in the bus here, man. All right, we'll get a good picture of them chasing us right now. There are helicopters that will slowly start chasing you and stuff like that. But in addition to like being able to hit Y to absolutely kill people, okay, so you'll see they were chasing behind me. They weren't there. All of a sudden I'm getting far away, and then all of a sudden new dudes spawned in, and all of a sudden they're right on my butt. The other thing is I have been in like the fastest car in the game, and I have been nitrosing on the fastest car in the game and still had them catch up to me. Like, it can be kind of ridiculous with how quick these guys are catching up to us. So it can be kind of annoying. All right, so we killed all the guys chasing us, so I think that's going to clear my notoriety, which, you know, not the hardest thing to do, but at times, like, you just can't really get a good hit on them, and it just, like, turns into, like, oh my God, I'm trying to run away for, like, an hour. Oh, yeah, Marshall's another group, by the way, that you can kill. I don't know why they aggroed me, but that's fine. They're like a paramilitary group. Ow. 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 Okay. All right. I just wanted to kill, please. Survive. I just wanted to pick up whatever is on the ground, which maybe was explosive. So sometimes you'll see like Y trigger and you can actually hit Y and actually kill some dudes. Oh God, they have the really nice laser gun. Just keep running. Just keep running. We'll probably be able to get away from them. I will say it's probably easier to escape from people on foot than it is in the car, which is, you know, interesting. But yeah. So what do I like about the game? I think it's been pretty fun, but I think the number one thing I've actually loved about the game is it's freaking hilarious. Like, as I've gotten older in my life, blowing people up in fun and extraordinary ways is, sure, it's still entertaining, but you know, it's not like the greatest thing in the world. I wouldn't be sitting here calling the game absolutely hilarious because of that. What I absolutely love is the writing for this game has just been great. Like, the story line has been pretty entertaining. The characters are all really fun, and it's just been like a lot of fun just progressing through the story and just kind of like seeing how the characters react and all that stuff. In addition to that, the other thing I really love about it is the customization. Oh my God, yes, here we go. Oh, dang it. So I actually stole one of these one point, and I may have ran it into a couple too many things, and it did that while I was driving it. And my character went exploding away in the distance saying, "Tell my mother I was always her favorite." And it's just little things like that that I'm just like, oh my God, that's so freaking hilarious. All right, anyone want to call the cops? Huh? I mean, it's an open world game. You got to be a little like brutal, right? Although normally this is not really how I play all that often, but you know, for now we'll play it. Okay, I see some Marshall buddies. But the other thing that I have been having a ton of fun with is the customization in this game is just freaking awesome. I hope that eventually they add in more clothes, because I think I've kind of seen all the clothes, which I kind of wish there's about double the amount of clothing, but just the amount of things you can do to customize your character is just silly. like there's some crazy stuff that you can put on your character. There's also some a little more normal stuff that you can put your character with. You can make your character look as cool or as like dorky as you want. Which, by the way, let's go up here. This is a building that you can't quote unquote enter, but you can go all the way to the top of the roof, so you can kind of like fly off with your wingsuit. So we can kind of get a good picture of the map up here. But anyways, I can hop into our phone app here, and you can see that, you know, we have the map here, but then there's a bunch of different style missions here. We have like wanted missions where you can basically go and hunt for people. It's like basically kill missions, although there's a little bit more than just go to a certain place and kill them. There's then your actual story missions, which at this point there's actually like 4 I can do right now, which is kind of cool. We have the style app, and this is where we can just like completely change our outfit. And the thing that's cool about this is I can actually change who I am at any point. So at any point, if I wanted to change who I was, I can actually change my gender too, if I recall correctly. Oh yeah, so I can like literally change to like any of the different characters that I want, and that's really cool. In addition to that, they have, you know, all the different outfits, but like they have a bunch of different really cool things. Like you can have different prosthetics, which is like, that's pretty awesome in my opinion. You can have different like skin colors and all that stuff, but then the other thing they have is they have scars, they have tans, but then they also have like the different skin conditions, which I was like, all right, that's actually pretty legit there. And then of course you have all your different outfits that you can do. We have different helmets, you have upper face, lower face. I actually kind of like dig my chick right now. She's like, yeah, you know, she's kind of a classy, you know, boss right now, which I kind of like. And then there's like a ton of really, really cool tattoos, although I don't think I've really put any tattoos on my character yet. But, you know, there's just a lot of stuff you can do with your character, which is really, really cool. And then there's the playlist that at any point you can literally listen to any of the songs, which I will say I've only recognized like 3 or 4 of them, so a lot of them aren't particularly well-named songs, but, you know, there's a couple bangers in there. But yeah, I'll definitely say the cosmetics have been top notch. In addition to not just your personal cosmetic, but the stuff you can do with your vehicles and stuff like that is pretty freaking exciting. Most of it is not necessarily going to affect how your car drives. Basically, there's like 3 different things you can attach to any car. You can essentially give it an off-road kit. You can give it nitrous. You can upgrade it. And there's actually one other thing now that I say that you can do to actually kind of like improve the performance of the car. But other than that, you know, most everything you do is just cosmetic. Let's see if I can actually get on top of the car. I got on top of that car. Really? So the cool thing is you can actually hop on top of cars as they're driving, and you can ride on the roof, but it can be kind of hard to engage. There we go. There we go. There we go. And so hopefully this guy starts rolling. So first thing we can do is we can start shooting from up here, but we can actually jump to the wingsuit, and then we can, ow. That was perfect. I was gonna say you can kind of fly between cars, which is kind of fun when you're trying to get away from the cops just jumping through it. So I will say, like, the game's entertaining. So is the game worth your money? That's a good question. Actually, before we do that, I want to hop into the garage. Let's go home here real quick. Oh, the other thing to mention is there are businesses you can put in. So kind of like similar to like GTA where you can buy businesses. In this game, you actually get to select what business you want there. So there's a little bit of customization option in it. In addition to that, you can actually like tweak your base with different collectibles that you pick up in the world. Well, technically you take pictures of them in the world, but there's like 4 different like size items that you can actually put in different areas. So there's some really cool looking stuff. So, you know, you got the customization for your base, you got the different like side bases that you can kind of have, the different businesses you can have, and then yeah, all the car customization. Also there's boats as well, although I don't actually have any boats besides a single jet ski. So this is my main car. This one I found, it's really freaking fast. You can see the max speed. I've basically cranked it all the way up, and I mean, I have done some pretty dang good stuff here. I love how it looks with the underglow and all that. Just looks freaking awesome. The presets on it, not as cool, not as cool, not as cool. In addition, we have the upgrade kits, although I actually don't have enough money, huh? Interesting. And then all the vehicles and guns have signature abilities. So after you accomplish a certain number of things, you can unlock the signature abilities, which is, you know, pretty cool. We have the Buffalo here, which I had to steal a, you know, camper And yeah, sure. Then we have the Chalupa Cabra, which, you know, kind of gives you the idea of the humor in the game, which is great. Then we have just the super fast bike. We have the car, which I don't even know where those came from. This is like your starting truck. This is the police car. And the cool thing about this is we can actually eventually, that was the other equipment we can attach to it. We can put a towing cable on the back. And so essentially you can attach any other car or any item to it. Not necessarily any item, but, you know, various items to it and kind of use them as a battering ram, which is pretty fun, man, I have to say. And then the whip, which is a car that is from one of the gangs that I stole. So, you can see that there's just a lot to customize it, because you got the presets, you got the different paints, you got the trim paints, you got the inside paint, you can change the grime, you can change the age, you can change the underglow. There's mods, so there's all the different kind of like body mods you can put on the car, which I didn't really have the money because these all cost money, so I hadn't actually really adjusted too many of those. You got the different spoilers. I mean, like, the customization options in this game are just freaking awesome. Discard changes, but let's go ahead and drive this, and you can see how freaking fast this car is, which this is the car that the AI has like caught up to me with in the police car, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, how are you this fast, man? The other thing is, I think the special ability in this car is, whoops, I think you can actually recharge your nitrous by getting like close calls. Like, as you like drive by things, close calls, it'll actually like recharge your nitrous, which is kind of nice. It actually handles fairly decent too. It's not like the, you know, it's a little, once again, more on the arcadey side than anything. So all that being said, like I said, I've had a enjoyable time with the game. I think if, you know, I'm telling whether or not the game is worth your money, I think ultimately I kind of like relate to the whole aspect here of, you know, $1 per 1 hour of time. I have a friend that says that all the time, and I think I've actually seen that online as well, where essentially, you know, if I pay $20 for a game, I want like 20 hours worth of content. So the question is, if you pay $60 for this game, is it worth 60 hours of content? And I don't know on that. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Oh, well, there goes my car. Yeah, I can get it back at any point. I don't know if I have like 60 hours worth of content in this game. I think the game honestly probably has like 35 to 40 hours worth of content. And like, there might be 60 hours worth of content, but is the 60 hours enjoyable? You know, that's kind of the bigger question with it. I don't actually know about that. So I think if instead you would rate it like 2 hours per or $2 per hour of content, then yeah, I think this one would definitely kind of fit that aspect, because I think you could easily get 30 hours out of this. Did I actually kill you? No, I missed. All right, we're gonna kill some driver here, and we're gonna steal his car. We're actually on a little island here, which is actually a mission that takes place over here, which is pretty cool. Once again, the missions essentially are all like go here and kill like 100 people. Very much like Call of Duty kind of missions. Oh, wow. That head exploded. Ow, I kind of felt bad with that one. And we did not get you. Okay. Oh, you think you're fancy here with your... Yeah, I didn't think so, punk. Let's actually see how long we can last here by just killing everyone. And actually, I wonder something. If I get the cops called on me, and I get the gangs called on me, who's gonna actually come attack me? Oh, she actually got run over by the car. That happened earlier where I had a bunch of cops chasing me, and then they all got run over, which is kind of great. So it kind of like saved me. And you can kind of see the combat here, which I'm going to try being as good as possible with this lock and stuff, but like it can be really, really hard. Headshots do tons of damage though, which is nice. And actually it looks like we ended up clearing everyone out before they could make any calls. So yay us, I suppose. I mean, we can just keep randomly shooting into the crowd until, you know, more people show up, because, you know, apparently we're psychotic and stuff like that. But, you know, normal stuff. I have an AR. I have the shotgun right now. There's a variety of weapons. You can see you know, you can customize them as well. I have this Tech SMG, which I actually really, really like because it's fairly accurate, which I quite enjoy. And then I just have like the normal pistol. I have a couple other variety of weapons unlocked, but I like not a whole lot when it comes to it. The one nice thing is your businesses do actually generate you money over time, so I can hop here in the cash, and you know, I can actually transfer money from the bank account that has been like basically getting passive amounts of money from all of the businesses I have. which right now is only like 2, I think. So, hi, is anyone want to actually fight me? Oh, the other thing to mention about combat is if you hit RB, you'll notice that I have this triangle down here. I'm still not entirely sure how it works. I thought it was based on the same bar as your Y instant kills, but from what I can tell, it actually is a little bit different. And sometimes you can queue the abilities, sometimes you can't queue the abilities. So I'm not entirely sure how that works. I've had kind of a hit or miss time with it where like, oh, hey, I want to throw my grenade, and yeah, it doesn't actually work right, and it's kind of annoying, and it's like, all right. And that kind of just goes to the whole janky aspect of it where, you know, it can be fun, but it at times can definitely be a little bit janky. So anyways, I kind of hope this guy gives you a good picture of whether or not you like the game. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, do I think it's worth $60? Maybe. Do I think it's worth like $45, $50? Yeah, probably. But you know, once again, your mileage may vary. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, comment, let me know what you guys think about the video, what you think about the game itself. And as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow in another video. So till then, bye everyone.